think that light on top is actually rotating, or is it me? No, that is rotating. Look at that. Wow. Doesn't that look fantastic? Hello Flight Sim fans, and welcome to the Practically Geek channel. In this video I've landed at Samos Airport here in Greece, and I'm going to be showing you a Payware scenery by Terrainy Studios. This is available on Sim Market or Orbex Direct or Orbex Central if you're using the software. And it's priced in at around £12 UK. More details coming up at the end of the video. Samos Airport has one runway, runway 09 and 27, measuring in at 2,100 meters. That's equivalent to around 6,890 feet. Just like with all my videos, I'm going to be showing you the default scenery first to show you what it looks like before you install the add-on, and then I'll be going in for a more in-depth look at the Payware scenery to show you how much it has improved. So this airport is located on the coast of Samos Island in Greece. It's actually closer to the coast of Turkey, I believe, than the coast of mainland Greece, but it is still a cluster of the Greek-owned islands. This airport in default state is a bit different than the others. There's only really one building. It's the main terminal building where the terminal is located in real life, and the control tower. There is a cluster of small houses on the perimeter of the car park and kind of the main landside area. And as you can see, the texturing on the aprons and the runway and the taxiways are all pretty bad, including the surrounding 2D satellite imagery. The airport consists of one main apron and a couple of taxiways joining up to the main runway. The airport in default form does have a car park, as you can see, and as I said, one building included in the default scenery. So it's kind of the most bare one I've seen, really. There's a lot of static aircraft, I must admit, in this one, so that's a bit different than usual. But as I said before, you can see a lot of defects in the texturing of the concrete and the asphalt. We have a perimeter road going around the outside, and in general it's not one to write home about this one. So with that being said, let's jump into the Terrainy Studios scenery and see how much they've improved this one. Welcome back to Samos Airport here in Greece. I've loaded into the Terrainy Studios scenery, and we are now going to take a look around to see how much this airport has been improved. Well, straight away we can see an outer perimeter fence with a lot of new landscaping details which look amazing. Certainly some work straight away that you can see even on this more remote side of the apron. Just to the side of my Airbus A320 there's a lot of custom ground clutter now, which looks really nice little touch by the developers here to make the apron area and the airport come alive just by adding this amount of detail in, which looks great. The texturing on the runway has been redone. There's a lot of dirt and tire marks being added to the center line here. It does look nice, albeit the kind of the lightening of the runway and the dark middle section makes it look like a bit like a zebra, doesn't it? But you know, you've still got this lovely outer perimeter fence and road around the airport, which just adds to the level of immersion. Coming back on ourselves here now, we can see the new custom terminal building here added by Terrainy Studios, which looks great, doesn't it? The building we had before was just a generic autogen terminal from the Asobo library, and now you can see it's a lovely building that resembles the real life one. I must say there is some stutters, micro stutters. If I turn the camera, the scenery tends to take a bit to load in, and there's a fair decent FPS loss straight away just off the bat, so I can tell you that. But with that being said, the apron looks miles better than the default scenery. It's got lovely custom ground markings. You can see bits of I would imagine oil slick, maybe damp on the apron, where the ground vehicles maneuver around the apron. You can see all that, the custom road markings for the apron, new apron lights with the red and white texturing up it, and it just looks all amazing. The development team have done a really massive overhaul on this airport, and it's already looking fantastic. It's not animated, but this is the second time I've seen a baggage cart being implemented into the scenery. There was a animated baggage cart at the Ayers Rock Airport by AU Scenes, if you remember that video that I did. But all this is really great. They've got custom baggage carts. They've got the GPUs, the ground power units, and the retexturing job is to a really high standard. The textures on use here are, from what I can gather, with the performance hit that I'm getting, which isn't massive, but in parts there's a bit of stuttering and a slight, I'd say 10 frames per second loss of frames, but this will be purely due to the retexturing and the new textures that have been implemented into the scenery. There is a little interior at the front of the airside area, the gates where the passengers board the aircraft. The pictures on the left hand side obviously don't look great, but I think this is more to be appreciated from the outside. And doesn't that look really, really amazing? The gates with the custom signage, gate 4, 3, 2 and 1 there, and the steps with the barriers, the custom plants, and the control tower looks genuinely stunning. It looks really, really great, and I believe that does have an interior which we will have a look at. Before we head into that control tower, it's one of the most detailed roofing sections of a custom building I've seen. The tiles, the AC vents, just the ventilation systems, and just every bit of detail, the air pipes and the vents, everything, just the poles where maybe flags once stood. It all looks really, really convincing. And the interior of the control tower, again, looks fantastic. The texturing's actually really amazing inside here too. The checklist maybe, or the paperwork on the desks here where the radars and other computers are, look really crisp. The resolution's fantastic on the wood surrounding the computers, and you have got a internal window reflection here as well, so the windows are seen in the inside, which again is not always implemented in interior sceneries. Quickly take a look at the landside area. This also has been done to a really nice level. The custom signage for the Samos Airport in the Greek language, the appearing car from nowhere there, and the custom buildings, the walls, the fencing, and the outside of the landside side of the airport looks amazing. As you can see, we've got some custom coaches there. The car park has its own car park markings. The roundabout looks more pronounced, and everything just looks 1,000 times better than the default scenery, as you would imagine. And I do love that they've added in a rent-a-car building here just on the outskirts of the car park. That looks great. As we make our way down the apron of Samos Airport, you can see that there seems to be a basketball court there. That's amazing little detail. I'll have to double check that out on the real airport. But as you can see, there's more custom buildings, and obviously buildings that didn't exist in the default scenery, which is amazing. The Terrainy Studios team have done a fantastic job in adding the correct buildings here. The Eco Aviation building just below us there going past, and the new fuel depot with a custom wagon looks really amazing. Well done. This football pitch that they've added in just on the perimeter of the airport here looks fantastic. The texturing of the grass looks amazing even at this height. You can also see this hangar that appears to be off the airport site with another basketball court in. So maybe that's just, it was once on the airport site at an earlier date, and now it's used by a different organisation. But it looks It all looks really convincing and true to life, and I'm really impressed with what the team have done with this airport scenery. I will be running through the features of this airport in just a moment, and one of the features is this lovely new scenery that the guys have put in place for the houses and the apartments, and even the sun lounges on the beach here, sprawling across the beach on the coast. It looks great if you're landing on the nearby runway. And as you can see, the outer perimeter road that they've implemented into the scenery looks amazing. It really does add to the realism of landing or taking off at either end of this runway. Running through some of the key features of Samos Airport by Terrainy Studios. You've got high detail 3D model of the renovated airport, the main terminal apron and the runway, which we can see the runway looks amazing. They've definitely gone in and retextured that, as you can tell, and obviously the terminal building, which we've had a look at before. It's up-to-date runway layout and apron layout, so that we'll have a better look at that in the before and after images just later on in the video. Up to 8K textures exclusively using PBR, so this is why I am getting a performance hit, and depending on the system that you're using, you may also run into it. The performance hit consists of tiny little micro stutters, as you might be seeing as we fly over the airport here. There's custom buildings and landmarks around the island, including ports, museums, schools, churches, hotels, beaches, roads, temples, and many more. You can see that by either end of the runway. You can see some custom buildings on the left as well here, and obviously the football pitch. It would take me a long time to go around the island, so I will let you check that out if you do decide to purchase the scenery. There's custom made placed villages on the approaches to the runways, approach landmarks approved by real pilots, so pilots have been helping the team here to get things correct. Realistic 3D night lighting, which obviously we will be checking out in a moment. Custom placed surroundings of the airport, that is in cooperation with locals. Again, absolutely amazing that the team have gone out and asked the locals about what's right and does this look right. Absolutely amazing work. I love when that kind of thing happens in scenery design. Custom placed main road network around the airport. You've got VFR landmarks scattered around the island, custom placed vegetation, and we've got a fully working ground and ATC services as well. So let's roll our clocks back to 1 AM and check out the nighttime lighting for Samos Airport. Well, doesn't that look amazing? Look at the apron lights illuminating the newly retextured apron. Let's get closer and see what the terminal looks like and some of the surrounding buildings. Well, doesn't that look fantastic actually? I think they possibly might be custom apron markers and apron numbers there. The board itself, I've never seen it look so nice at night. It's glowing onto the nearby grass. Every little blade is illuminated there, including bits of the taxiway. That looks fantastic. So as you can see a bit closer, those apron spotlights look fantastic. They are illuminating every bit of their positioning well, even the static buses over behind them, the static ground vehicles, the planes on show here, and it really does look fantastic. I am impressed, as you can tell. The interior lighting and the lights, fluorescent roof and ceiling lights inside the control tower, the small little red, I would imagine warning warning lights on the roof of the airport, the uplighters on the side of the roofing panels on the side of the outside of the building look fantastic. Everything just looks really high class, like really to a really great standard. The Samos Airport sign, the 3D of the quality of it is just astounding. And you can even see a partial office build inside the top levels, and you notice that some lights are on and some rooms are off. It really does add to the realism. Another really great touch. The night lighting inside the control tower looks fantastic. Look at those reflections on the metal sidings just above the windows. They're really great, and the lights on each individual computer monitor, the lights on top, And I think that light on top is actually rotating, or is it me? No, that is rotating. Look at that. Wow. Doesn't that look fantastic? I've never seen that, and the way the lights are reflecting on the bars around the edge just look stunning. That is absolutely amazing. And the night lighting standards and the detail of the night lighting extends to the land side as well. I didn't expect anything less. The light on the side walls illuminating the chairs, the inside interior lighting from the outside looks crisp. It looks absolutely astounding. Very, very well done. And again, from this height and this view down onto the main apron and terminal building, it just looks ultra realistic. It looks very, very great. I'm really impressed with what the guys have achieved here. It's great, and we are going to have a look at the before and after montage in just a moment, so you can see it, just the improvements and the transformation that has been placed into this one. The file size for this one is one of the biggest I've seen. It's actually nearly 5 GB, and that would be because of those 8K PBR textures, so keep that in mind. And let's now jump into the before and after scenes for Samos Airport. You're going to see what it looks like before. So I did show you briefly at the start of the video, but now you'll get to see it much more close up and in better detail. So that was Samos Airport by Terrainy Studios. This is available on Orbex Direct or Central if you're using the software. It's also available on Sim Market. If you're going to buy off Orbex, you'll be paying $17.78, €14.66, or what in the UK we'll be paying £12.78. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Practically Geek channel for more videos just like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon.
Hello, 212, you make a left turn there now.
Hello, 212. Hello, 212, we're ready for approach now, and I request vectors via 2 company approach.